Konovalovas looks behind him, almost tipped by the passing motorcycle there. Well, if anything, Daniel Moreno is getting an easier ride here, because Konovalovas is an excellent time trialist. He attacked Daniel Moreno, and Moreno has just said, well, you know, if I can get back up to you, I'm just going to sit on you, mate. Oh, they've started to work together now. He spent a good 3 or 4 kilometers, or a good 3 kilometers doing nothing. Stotoni was driving along that big gear. Now waiting, I think, or now realizing that the other riders, the rest of the breakaway, are going to come back together. Stotoni, Marzani, Lemavelle, Bettencourt and Kruijswijk. Stotoni's had a good day today. Really has been pretty active. And Alessandro Patacchi here on the front. And Lamprey beginning to marshal the forces with 4 kilometers to go for, we would guess, Michele Scarponi. Looks to me as if these two here, though, Sean, are going to contest the finish. Yes. Possibly, maybe.
Well, it looks, it's looking good for the two. Over 30 seconds, 34 seconds an advantage, and you know, back in that group of Lemavelle, they're, you know, not organised. They're leaving all the work to Lemavelle, and then they go in the attack. And unless they change their tactic here and say, look, this is our opportunity now to get back to our 2 leaders, and they start riding 3 or 4 with Lemavelle, it's the only way. But it looks very good at the moment for our 2 leaders. Konovalovas and Moreno.
Yeah, you're seeing some of the riders already pulling off. Marzano not wanting to take some work on the front. Christophe Lemavelle knowing he has to get there and try and push that group on even more. They've only got, these 2 riders here have got 55 seconds over the peloton itself. Christophe Lemavelle, doesn't look like it's going to happen for him today, Sean. A brave effort, but I don't think he's going to pull on pink this evening.
No, I don't see him pulling on pink at all. It's you know, going to be a matter now, or a question, you know, how much can he gain in the overall classification, the general classification. And we can see he's still riding there, but he is looking very tired, because he has been doing, you know, the big majority of the pulling on the front. But he has to keep it going and see, can he, you know, hold on to some handful of seconds and move up in the general classification, because that is all he's going to get out of the day.
Lamprey have waited and waited and waited. They haven't had to do anything because they're the man in the breakaway, and now they are getting to the front to set it all up for, we would presume, Michele Scarponi. And wallop, is that the rest of the breakaway being swept back up? I think it probably is. The peloton absolutely flying now as Daniel Moreno gets to the front of this little duo. 44 seconds. And still, of course, we've got these 2 men to catch. It's not over yet, Sean. They came flying through there, really flying through.
Certainly not over, and you know, they have to really dig deep here. The 2 have, you know, shared the pulling on the front, because the bunch, as we can see, they've swallowed up all of the breakaway. I think this is the last one, Kruijswijk, to be pulled back by the bunch from the original breakaway. And the 2 out front, we see, you know, 40 seconds, but that can come down so quickly if there's a team. And here we go, Lamprey taking it up. And if they can really, you know, keep a very high pace, we could see our 2 having difficulty to hold on.
And Michele Scarponi, 3rd back in line here for Lamprey on the yellow forked bike here. All problems for one of the Movistar riders. We can't see who it is, of course, because they're in the way, but it's Vasily Kirienka. That's about the 3rd time he's had problems coming into the to finish. But he's got to get going here, because remember a little bit of a crash there. Remember, the 3 kilometer rule is not applying, so he's got to get back on and ride. Valerio Agnoli also involved in that, probably tired from the breakaway. But Lamprey really driving it on here. 1, 2, 3 back in line is Michele Scarponi. You could recognize him from the fluorescent yellow on his bike, but you see the way Alberto Contador shadows him straight away. He's on his wheel. Scarpone's Lamprey team really driving it along here. He's second in line. Third, back in the pink jersey, of course, the black shorts, is Alberto Contador, the race leader. Then behind him is Roman Kreuziger. And another attack that looks like Pirazzi, who's gone on the attack once again. This is Stefano Pirazzi. He's had a couple of really hard attacks. And he likes these sort of finishes. And he's timed this one a bit better now, Sean. The last two he didn't do too well.
Yes, and we've seen it before, Pirazzi going in the attack, and he should have fixed his glasses before he went to the attack. He lost a fraction there. He attacked first and then was fixing his glasses about, and he should have done that before he went to the attack. But it's a good attack because, you know, we're seeing the bunch here. They've been really going on at a fast pace, and for anybody to try and attack, you have to have the good legs.
Riders coming and being shelled out the back of the peloton here. Remember, the 3 kilometer rule does not apply today. Regulation number 15, meaning if you have a mechanical or a crash in the last 3 kilometers, bad luck for Agnoli and Kirienka. They've just got to get back on their bikes and ride, if they can, of course. 11 seconds from the pink jersey up to our leading 2 riders, Daniel Moreno and the excellent time trialist Ignatius Konovalovas, who's won the stage in the Giro d'Italia. Pirazzi, no, it's not going to happen for him again. Stefano Pirazzi, get a prize today for being aggressive, but it's not going to happen for you. You've got to be super strong to get away from a peloton going at that speed. Under the 1 kilometer to go banner then for our 2 leading men, and it's about 10 seconds is the gap. This is where it's going to really ramp up again. There's a 10% gradient here. Roman Kreuziger looking good. Nibali up towards the front as well, as Pirazzi goes out the back door. And Konovalovas looks as though he's dragging Daniel Moreno up towards the finish. I would not be surprised at 700 meters if Daniel Moreno doesn't spring a little surprise on Konovalovas here. He's looking over his shoulder. The two of them still working together. Oh, I'm surprised he's gone so early, Daniel Moreno. Meanwhile, behind, there's Cataldo just going through the shot in the blue and white of Quick Step. And Sean, do you think it's over for these two?
I don't think they're going to make it because the way the bunch is coming, and surely they'll somewhat take it up that bit early. Still 500 metres to go, but Moreno, putting in a big and a brave effort here.
Clearly, he was very strong. He's did a bit of sitting on of Ignatius Konovalovas, but with 400 metres to go, he's got to give it everything he can now. The steepest part of this run in. Now, who's going to attack from behind? It's Jean Gadret. Gadret, the Frenchman, who's going to come up to the wheel of Moreno. Poor old Moreno's going to lose out as Gadret goes past. Is anybody else going to come and attack Jean Gadret? Gadret goes past. Cataldo, I think it is, for Quick Step. And now, Giovanni Visconti having a go as well as Joaquim Rodriguez comes through. Gadret has to hang on. The former French mountain biker turned roadie. That is a superb attack, and he gets the win. The win goes to the Frenchman, Jean Gadret, and that is the biggest single win of his career. He's been threatening to do something for a long time. He's either just a little bit too far behind in the power stakes on the really big mountains, or attacks in just the wrong place. But today, it was absolutely perfect for Jean Gadret. Joaquim Rodriguez it was, who was coming up on the far side of the road. You could see him on the left-hand side of your shot, coming out of the peloton. We mentioned him as being a good finisher today. Once again, he gets stuffed in the last climb. Rodriguez.
Visconti looked to be the third man over the line, but again, Gadret, perfect time and just the real good time to go, but very strong Gadret there, because the percentage is really difficult. But Joaquim Rodriguez not at his best, because if he was really good, he would attack that at 200 metres to go.
Jean Gadret, for once, he's got the timing absolutely perfect. Daniel Moreno looked over his shoulder to see Gadret arriving at speed. Little look up from Moreno. Oh, sit back down, it's all over for me. At 200 metres to go. How demoralising is that? And Gadre, that's a real leg-sapping, lung-bursting effort, isn't it? Giving it everything for about 450 meters or so. Contador was 5th, Kreuziger 6th, Cataldo 7th, Scarponi 8th, Lastas 9th, and Nibali 10th.